Yeah, I think we'll start now. Good afternoon to our friends in Europe and good evening to our friends in India. So I'm really happy to welcome you all on behalf of the Center for Roma Studies and Cultural Relations and Antar Rashtriya Sahayog Parishad to this monthly lecture. As you are all aware, we have been holding this lecture series for almost 2.5 years. Today is the 43rd lecture in that series. In addition to that, we also conduct events on like international conferences, etc., on the important Romani days in the calendar like the World Roma Day or the Literature Day or the Remembrance of the Holocaust, etc. Antar Rashtriya Sahayog Parishad have been associated with the Roma and their activities for many decades. And this center was established in 2018, so it is almost 6 to 7 years. This has been in operation. And we also produce a newsletter which covers stories which come in the media on Romas. And today's topic is very important for us because it talks about media. And yes, it is true that media, the mainstream media, has been carrying mostly stories which are stereotypical about Roma and talks about not a positive stories about Roma. Very few positive stories we come across in the mainstream media. Though the Roma media does carry achievements of Roma, their cultural activities, their social life, positive and negative stories. So it will be good to know from our speaker today how the mainstream streamer and how the Romas are connected in that working there or how they see Roma. Because I believe that the Roma media, if we try to focus on that, then it will be again making Roma isolated because the intention is that there should be an integration of Roma with the mainstream society while Roma retains their cultural and language identity. So for that, I know that many of the Roma's organizations, as well as in Europe, many countries are taking actions for the integration of Roma into the mainstream society, but preserving and promoting their cultural identity and language. In this regard, I just wish to mention that I was mentioning to our speaker that sometime back I was working in Bulgaria and also I was looking after Macedonia. So there, regarding media, there were two different enclaves, one in Bulgaria, where there was a large numbers of Roma community residing in Polovdi, which is called Stolipinovo, which always was in the media, but it was always on the negative side that there are no good facilities, sewage, water, electricity, and the problems. While in Macedonia, there is a place called Shutka, which is Suto Orejari, which is, I'm told, the only municipality in the world which is managed by the Roma community, which has a mixed media coverage, positive stories as well as negative stories. So therefore, media has a very important role in creating the perception of a community. While Roma are the largest ethnic community in whole of Europe, but somehow media has not been very positive about them. So we need to look at the ways also how to ensure that media takes a positive picture of them. Our newsletter, we try to cover more of the positive stories of Roma about what they have done, or somebody is in some movie, or somebody is doing some cultural event, somebody has done well in the business, or somebody has done well in the politics. Today, our speaker is will be talking about role of Roma community in mainstream European media, and our speaker is a journalist, and his name is Mr. Petar Stefanov Filipov. He currently reside in UK, but today he is in Bulgaria, his home country. Before we move forward, I'll request Zameer Anwar to introduce our speaker in detail as well about the topic. Zameer, the floor is yours.
Uh, Thank you very much, sir. And our chairperson, Ambassador Rajesh Sachdeva ji, I would like to tell our audience as well. He was Indian ambassador to Bulgaria and North Macedonia, and he served there as an Indian ambassador. So, sir has a lot of means grassroots aware of the grassroots realities, what the situation is, and how the media portray the community. By the way, welcome you all to the Zoom meeting room for attending the 43 virtual lecture of the Roma Lecture Series on the theme of role of Roma community in mainstream European media. And our speaker is Petar Stefanov Filipov. Actually, he is based in Birmingham right now. He has been living there, but he is native to Bulgaria. By profession, he's a journalist, blogger, YouTuber, social activist, and he is very active on uh, not only on mainstream media but also ethnic media as well. And he is also the chairman of the managing council of uh, Young Lipe Association uh, that is based in Bulgaria, and he was the manager at the Roma TV Roma based in Vidin, and he was also the manager. He had experience. He served uh, Ethno Radio Montana. So Mr. The Peter has the wide experience in media in almost all of the forms of media, whether it's broadcasting, radio, and printing. So, Mr. The Peter got a degree in economics from the New Bulgarian University and journalism course from American University in Bulgaria. So, Peter is also fluent to the different languages. I was surprised when I saw him that he is fluent to languages like the Bulgarian, Serbian, Russian, German, English, Romani, etc. So I can say that he is a polyglot. So, but the today subject of the today's discussion is very important, and it attempts to highlight the negative and biased media portrayals of the Roma community in Europe. It is found that the mainstream media often counts on stereotypes and prejudices as well as perpetuates negative myths about the community. And the biased reporting contributes to anti-Gypsyism and lead to the serious consequences in the society. So, instigating hate speech and violence against the community. So, the media plays a very, the pivotal role in portraying and projecting the community in a negative light. So the false information, the false news is also routine occurrences, in across Europe. And the false information is used to intensify the discrimination against the community and prejudices against the Roma community and Romani groups throughout Europe. And you can find a lot of examples of irresponsible reporting by media, the mainstream media. They are so irresponsible and unaccountable, uh, and this is very casual when they report on Roma, any news regarding Roma. Basically, this is all negative, uh, um, because such kind of reporting, irresponsible reporting, also lays horrendous impact on the lives of millions of Roma living and residing in a different countries of Europe, and that also fuels the widespread violent violent anti-Roma movements, because it is the order of the day. You can find everywhere across Europe as well as in other countries, even in the United States of America. You can find the discriminations and the prejudices and stereotypes, which are very common occurrences, and they are facing and encountering such kind of such stereotypes and the discriminations in every sphere of life of the community. So anti-gypsy, you can find anti-gypsism that is also prevalent, even though there are a lot of initiatives taken by the European Commission and the European Council, and they laid down the like the framework for overcoming and assuaging the intensity of the anti-gypsism, but still a long way to go. And here the role of media comes to the fore. So still anti-gypsy stereotypes continue to be spread and perpetuated in several media across Europe. You can find in Italy, Czech Republic, different, almost Slovakia. You will find such kind of negative projection of the community. Whenever you browse Google, you can find nothing but the negative reporting, negative news about the community, and that is because they are out and out intended to spread the negative news about the community, especially like in the context of social problems, crimes. Even the media project that this community is a criminal by nature, and they are living outside the law. So these and the police brutality is also justified and rationalized because they are living outside the law. So such kind of media report you can find everywhere in Europe, and the social problems, especially the describing the Roma as a irresponsible, and they are no law-abiding citizens. And most of the time, you can find that the media project the Roma community as they themselves are responsible for their own exclusion and segregation from the mainstream society. So that is the another part, but still today we have the journalist, the Peter. He will talk about in detail exactly what are the problems and how we can overcome such kind of false reporting and negative reporting about the community. There is also another problem about the media. Mainstream media neither give Roma agency in their own narratives nor consult Roma journalist. He himself will tell you that how many times he has been consulted by the mainstream media about the particular issues in Bulgaria or anywhere in Europe. So, which is why the Roma perspective remains unknown to the majority. That is also the problem. That is also the challenge before the community. So now I would like to stop here because we are excited and interested in listening to our speaker today, who will give the detailed account of the role of Roma community in mainstream European media or mainstream media in Europe. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request our chairperson to proceed and carry forward this lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Zameer, for this detailed details about our speaker as well as about the situation of Roma, particularly in relation to the media. So now I'll just hand over the floor to our speaker, Mr. Petar Stefanov Filipov. The floor is yours, Mr. Peter.
Hello, good afternoon. Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for such good presentation and invitation to be part of this discussion. My expectation of this discussion is not to make my lecture and to tell my story, just to discuss about and to talk about the situation and presentation of the Roma people in the mainstream media. In the very beginning, I would like to introduce myself in shortly. In 1998, in town Vidin, in Bulgaria, we start to build a cable network TV station called Roma TV. And during 10 years, the next 10 years, we are working as a Roma media in Bulgaria. Actually, it was the first Roma media in Bulgaria. We starting as a cable TV station, In the future, we start to be a correspondent of 2 national TV stations in Bulgaria, the mainstream media. We have so many documentaries. Many of them receive so many awards in different festivals. What is important for Roma media? Actually, there is two possible ways to present the Roma people. One is they just be involved in the mainstream media and to tell the story about themselves. The another way is to have their own media outlets and to tell them story themselves. It's very important the Roma people to tell themselves about the stories, about the history and culture of the people. This is very important because as you present and Zameer as well present, many of the media report in the mainstream media, it's almost negative. The worst thing is when Roma is presenting in the Roma media in a negative way, then nothing. It's a worst. That is, I tell that the media is really crucial tool in the hand of the community to present themselves. And I would like just to make a discussion and to answer to some question about how the Roma can present and what is the special today, nowadays, in differences between 20 years when we start to work as a media. Before 20 years, in 2000 of the 20th century, the discussion was the people, the Roma community, they don't have enough prepare and educate people. Nowadays, the discussion is that we have already educated and prepared people, but always they didn't present in the mainstream media. And not only in the media, in institution as well. Nowadays, the Roma community is already done with education and preparation of the people. We have enough educated people. They just have to be involved in the media, in institution, and to be present of the community. This is the crucial thing we have to talk about. This is my presentation. I would like to hear some question if you have interest for something, just to answer you. And as you present, the last 3 years I'm living in UK, in Birmingham. In the past 20 years, the Roma present in the media only by accident. I would like to indicate the decade of Roma inclusion in 2005. In this period, in 2005, BBC as a channel, as a network, as a TV, they broadcast one documentaries of 20 minutes. Can you imagine? In 20 minutes, how it's possible to present one so big population as a Roma population? That was the presenting of the Roma people. Otherwise, people, the Roma community, it's involved in the media only in the negative way. That is why I would like to present. And I will be very happy just to answer some question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. Would somebody like to take the floor for comments or question?
I request Orhan. He may add something because both are colleagues. So Orhan, are you listening to me?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Hello,
Orhan,
Orhan.
you can add something because you yourself is a journalist. So I request you to kindly add some important which Peter might have missed. Okay, Orhan.
No, Peter does not miss anything, but I love that he speaks from his heart. And I know Peter from his very first days organizing television within Roma television in Vidin in Bulgaria. And I had the pleasure actually to immediately find out. We started to be in contact. That time I was working for network media program of George Soros Foundation, Open Society Institute. And we went actually look like to check what is Roma television in Vidin, what they do. And our big aim was to find out how Romani people can organize a community media. So Peter, in his own house, he organized a television studio, and they have that time a very good beginning. They had very good setup, and I was very much in favor that Peter and his staff, they were very involved actually on show to show what is the Roma in the city of Vidin in Bulgaria, but also they were covering some topics that are important for the Bulgarian Roma. Actually, at that time, um, we had a kind of a analysis the situation of Roma in Bulgaria, and the only voice we thought that only the Romani media outlets can give out what's going on and so on. So Peter is a successful journalist and successful editor as well, and director of television. And I must say in this way, if we today talk about Roma media, we should go again and again to the core issue of our origin. I'm saying, and I said that Peter and many other media outlets, as it is my own Radio Patrin, we should work with the Indian media, with those Indian media that are particularly involved on picturing Roma, actually the community that has any type of trouble, or not only trouble. And televisions actually in Europe, Roma televisions, they have important role on heritage of the Roma, because the pictures, the videos, and so on that they display on their programs is actually the real life and the history of the Romani populations. What I can say more is that we are trying always to cooperate, and in that sense, Peter was very much involved at the Eurovision. Just a moment. Okay, maybe okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, excuse me. So those Romani media who were very much involved in showing what's going on with the Romani community, we had the opportunity in a Pristina conference, media conference. We have talk about how we can network Romani media. So that's time we made kind of Eurovision Media Task Force group. And Peter, with his television and with his work, he actually is look like one of the first role models about the television, which is private, which is community television, which is also ethnic television. So that's why we have to learn from the Indian media scene to cooperate with, because you know very well there is very important media in India that are similar to those programs that Peter is picturing. And as well, I think especially we have to work with the those media that are especially involved in trainings, and as well using new media technologies. And I don't have to explain to you that in Hyderabad is a Cyberabad, an extraordinary point that Romani media would need such a young generation. When I say young, it means the generation of the 5G, 6G, and so on. What I can say more is that, Bulgaria is actually a great a place where Romani media can play a role. I will not hide. There is a very big, very good, again, extraordinary initiative on globalization of Romani media. And that initiative comes from Bulgaria. And Petar Stefanov is one of the key persons to implement, to make much more bigger impact of Romani media or television as Peter has to the mainstream life, mainstream life in Europe, not only in Bulgaria. This is for me.
I would like to add something what Orhan mentioned. Actually, nowadays we're living in a time where the conventional, traditional media step back for the social media. The social media as a YouTube, as a TikTok, as a Facebook and Instagram, they grow up in every day and every hours. Most of the people prefer to be informed from this social media. That means that the traditional media, it's step by step staying behind this social media. Most of the people nowadays, they believe more in the social media than in the traditional media. But anyway, the media is a crucial tool in the hand of the people to present themselves. That is why it's very important and really crucial the Roma people to have their own media or to be present in the mainstream media. That is why I would like to add. Thank you.
But I was just wondering why there are not many positive stories about Roma community in mainstream media. Is it that they are not stories of that nature, or is it that they don't think that there will be a people will be ready to accept such a story? What do you think about it?
So I understand the question. If I have to answer to this question, I would like to say the following. When some of the Roma community, as a good sportsman or some good singer, presenting the arts or presenting the talents he have, this guy or this person is presenting as a Bulgarian one, or as a Serbian, or as a Macedonian one. When it's something negative, the people saying that they are from the Roma community. This is the tool and this is the way what the mainstream media are using. Sometimes when they find some talent people, some talent person or sportsman, they present him as a Bulgarian one, as a person from Bulgaria. But when happens something negative, let's say in a private life or something, some private story, they present this story as a story of Roma community. This is the key. This is the key, actually.
Yeah, I think you are right because some time back we had a monthly lecture presented on the Ukraine and Romas in Ukraine. And there the presenter mentioned about a story about a tank being stolen by a Roma person. They said that sometime it was seen as a positive story because the Romas are trying to fight against the Russians in Ukraine. But on the other side, it was giving a stereotype image of Roma that he is not fighting, but he has stolen a tank. So, anyone else with any comments or any this? So,
What I would like to add in this, the question you're raising, it's not so important to be present some positive stories. It's more important to present stories, objective stories of the Roma people, the real stories, because the real face of the Roma people is not presenting in the mainstream media. The Roma people are presenting in the mainstream media only when happens something negative, some private negative story. This is the way to be present the Roma people. It's much more important to make one human story of the Roma people, not just positive, just story. It's not necessary to be positive, a normal human story. But even that, this human story, it's missing as well.
Anyone? Rama ji, would you like to say something?
No, as Varan said, we have to coordinate with the Indian media because and European they always think Roma as in negative way. So if you coordinate with the Indian media, India also, here also we are facing the same problem. The lower community people, they take the lower community as a human interesting stories, but not actual. No, what are the positive side? They don't do. If something they steal, or they rape or stealing or atrocity case, something are there, they will expose them. So that is how if we both no Indian media and European the Roma media, if they coordinate and do the positive things, it is be better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the other thing which I see is lacking is that in the media, there are when they present the government policies on Romas, they present the facts, but they don't do the analysis. Because as Peter was saying, that if you do the analysis, you talk about the community, their issues, their this thing, rather than just saying that, okay, this is A is being done, B is being done, C is being done, that's it. So the journal public then doesn't get a total picture. They only say that, yes, something is happening. So if we don't have any more questions
I would like to add something. I would like to add something what we are facing nowadays in the media in general. Actually, the thin red line between the information and propaganda is really thin. Some people, they don't make the differences between propaganda and media. The mainstream media in general, nowadays, many of the mainstream media, they make this mistake, and they don't put information, they just using the government using them like a propaganda tools to propaganda and to tell the people what the government wanted to say. And this is the another interesting line we have to indicate, that there is a really thin red line between information and propaganda. It's really important what kind of information we're presenting, because sometimes the real information can be presented as a propaganda. That is why I'd like to add. Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. So my name is Ram, and I'm pursuing my PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University, working on Roma case studies in Germany and Hungary. Actually, few months back, I was actually listening a story on YouTube about a bride fair being organized by Roma people in Bulgaria somewhere. I forgot the place. Actually, I belong to Rajasthan, where they says that the origin or the initial descents of Roma community being, you know, spread from Rajasthan or India to Europe. So I actually could analyze that what sort of fair it is, and actually there were rumors initially through which I got this story that they used to sell the women. So when I inquire, I read, I realized that no, it's actually a culture. And being from Rajasthan, we also used to have such cultures where people do not want to get outside of the culture because they don't want any sort of dominance. They want their stories to be narrated. Like in Rajasthan only, like if we travel from the capital of Rajasthan, Jaipur, towards Udaipur, there are a lot of tribal people living, and they don't want anyone to interfere in their lifestyle and to dominate their lifestyle. So, while saying this story, what I feel is that uh, Indian government stakeholders are visiting a lot of countries these days, and Europe also. As in 2016, the External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has mentioned Romas as uh, uh, Indian people
Children of India.
and cultural heritage. We must send a strong message to our stakeholders that when you visit any country in Europe, you do meet Indian people. You can ask Roma people also to be there as Indian people, would send a strong message to European countries and, of course, the media too.
Yeah, Mr. Peter, would you like to comment on the story which is mentioning about the brides in Bulgaria, brides fair?
So I would like to make a connection about the brides in Bulgaria and the economical situation of the Roma people. Actually, since 2007, Bulgaria is a part of European Union community. As a part of European Union community, the Bulgarians in general, all of the Bulgarians, not only Roma people, all of the Bulgarians, they have a right to go somewhere in Europe and to work as a normal European citizens. That is the way in the past 15 years, many of the Roma community, many of the Roma people, they just moved themselves in the Europe somewhere, in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, in UK as well. They moved themselves with all the families. And right now we have a new generation, they educated in UK, in Germany. We have already new young Roma generation, they educated in Europe. And this right to work in Europe, they give them this economical freedom. Nowadays, it's very important to indicate the another thing as well. If before 20 years, most of the Roma people was poor and was economical worse, nowadays we have a so-called middle class of Roma community. There is so many people, they have this economical freedom because they're working as a normal Europeans. And most of those people, they coming back in their homeland, for instance, Bulgaria or Romania, and making this such rich weddings and so on. This is the reason, and this is the connection I would like to say. Thank you. Actually, the reason is that right now, nowadays, we have the middle class of Roma community.
Yeah, I really appreciate. Thanks for enhancing my knowledge and educating me more about it.
Peter, I have a question for you. That's my own personal observations. We find that the Roma mainstream reporters and journalists, they are nothing but the megaphones for perpetuating and spreading particular interest. That interest, which is against the Roma community or Roma groups in Europe, and that interest is very much designed by the broadcaster, means the owner or the head of the media outlets or media organizations and companies. So how the community, as you as a journalist, we know that there is the no fund or like no capital to start such the big media outlets in the media house. But are there any kind of policies by the European Council for the startup or for for starting or commencing any kind of media outlet, or the government, not only in Bulgaria or any other countries, or the government of other countries who mention who financially help and support to start ethnic media, especially the Roma media, so that they can, they can spread and they can inform the people and narrate their own stories in their own way, without any cosmetic surgery, without any makeup, so or without any prejudice attached. So. How you, because you have been, as Orhan also mentioned, that the both of you used to work with the Soros Foundation. So now, means the how you can, what are the means the how you can overcome, because the media is a very important tool and a very strong tool to make or mar the identity of any community or any group, that what is happening to the community, Roma community.
Do you hear me now? I will give my answer, but I think that Orhan have some more interesting answer of this question. Actually, the big problem of the Roma media outlet is that most of the Roma media outlet is working as a project idea. During one media outlet is a project idea, and they have some financing, some fundraising from NGO organization, from Open Society Institute, from Soros, or etc., etc. They working well, they exist, they doing something. And the crucial moment is when this project idea have to be a business idea to have a to be survive in a condition they working. There is the crucial things when one Roma media have enough power to be real business, then we can talk about Roma media outlet. In this case, I would like just to mention that right now, the last 6 months in Bulgaria was born a new platform, new internet platform, which calls Romanonet. This is a young guy who tried to collect Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok in one place. He actually built this platform. The platform is available for Android and the people can make them own accounts. They can have their own accounts. They can stream there. They can put some picture or to make some publication. They need support. This platform, they need support, and they just looking for supporting or some investment to make investigation in this to make investigation in this case, in this media platform. And I think that the crucial thing is to make this step from project media to be real business media. Probably Orhan have a better explanation of this question.
So if I'm invited, maybe I can continue. Mr. Chair.
Yeah, you go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Let me see if I can make a camera to be visible. Okay, I'm here. One of the main problems of the Romani media is existence. Romani media should become from the community initiative or NGO initiative, become like a business media. But the mainstream society in general terms, they don't care about Romani media. Why? Because Romani are not organized in a way to give a feedback about the need organizing of Romani media. If we speak that in Europe are 15 million Roma, and for comparison, I can mention, for example, Slovenia has 2 million citizens, Macedonia 2, Serbia has 5, Czech Republic 10, 12, Slovak Republic 5, Hungary 10. So as if we as population, how a population of 15 million has no media, organized media. Well, while we stay Roma media activists, we try to organize ourselves because we had, excuse me, we had work with the extraordinary organization called STIMO. It's a Southeast European media organization that has more than 500 journalists, and STIMO try as well to organize Romani media, to organize various projects and so. But media in Romani languages were not so keen to take a professional road and become a professional. Yes, among us, there are very high professionals who are working in public media. Let me remind you that here in Kosovo, there is a weekly program in Romani language at television and radio programs. In general, weekly, there is about 4 or 5 hours in Romani language. This type of program exists in in Serbia, uh, almost in each country, in Macedonia as well. But they did not become part of the mainstream media as in a media landscape that we can contribute about the truth of Roma. If we have comparison, how mainstream media reports on Roma is look like very unfair picture because the mainstream media are for us sharks and we depend from them. We depend from the budget of the countries where we are, and budget of the countries are not addressing us as a possible media balance to bring in any country of Balkan or Europe. Nor in Holland happened this, nor in Kosovo or Bulgaria even. Bulgaria, in the programs that we organize on education of the Roma journalists, I am sure, and I know that because I was head of such program, we had education for journalists who are of Roma origin. I do remember 20 years ago, I had on my list about more than 100 journalists who are of Romani origin. Today they are employed at the various public media and they do kind of programs in Romani language. But this is not enough. This is not enough to find a balance. I can tell you, thanks to that I'm in Kosovo and it comes to my mind, I'm thinking of, I do remember a very famous CNN reporter, Miss Amanpour, who was reporting from Pristina like this during the war. She said for CNN, like, here the Albanians are leaving the houses and gypsies are looting the houses. Can you imagine which kind of revenge happened from Albanians towards Romani population? And there was no media. Actually, from radio, television, Pristina, the whole team has to escape out of the country because they were attacked. So all these, again and again, I don't know. I am one who believes on this. We have to work with media magnates in India. We have to work with the community media. We have to exchange experience with Indian media, and so on and so on. Because I know very well, Peter knows very well, we know very well how India can influence our media landscape here and how we can do it. Maybe it's good if I would mention that all these initiatives that happen, we are now in this new era dependent from the investors. We have signed 2 times there, Zameer and Ambassador Sachdeva, the Memorandum of Understanding with Eurasian Roma Academic Network, and there was also mentioning working about Roma media and so on. So this is a multi-task project. We never talk, we never sit down because we rely on you as well. Naturally, we rely on you. From having such big experience, can you imagine that a famous actor who is radio journalist or television journalist from India to be one of the editors of the Romani programs here. It is no matter he is in Bollywood, he is I don't know where today. The media has such technologies that anywhere you are, you can be visible, you can contribute, you can work on. And as usually and gratefully that your organization is working to highlight our work, one of the most important work after the to build a power, community power, movement, it is the media. You know the role of media, how important can be and how it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oran, for useful suggestions. And let's hope that we could be able to take some action or some steps on that. Now I see Professor Prasanchu. Prasanchu, are you there? Would you like to give your valuable comments on this? Professor Prasanchu? No, I don't. So if you have no more comments or suggestions, then it's time to close the meeting. Thank you very much all for joining this important lecture. And I'm really thankful to Petar Filipov for a wonderful presentation, opening up others to come in and join in this conversation, because this is a topic where you need ideas and ideas to flow freely. And let's hope that some of these ideas could be useful and could be acted upon. Like Oran mentioned about cooperation with the Indian media, we do have a MOU with his organization. Let's see whether there is some possibility to take it forward through that MOU. And thank you very much, Mr. Ramanaik, also to mention about your sharing your experience, and for Mr. Ram Singh, who is doing his PhD, for giving his comments. So with this, I like to thank you all and request you all to join in our future lecture series also. And do give your suggestions on what topics we could take up for the lectures, as well as the various sources to get information for our newsletter. Because we publish a newsletter, but sometimes it is very difficult to get good inputs across Europe about the Roma community. So we will welcome such suggestions so that we could inform people across our list, the mailing list, which covers Romanians as well as Indians and many other nationalities. So it will be useful to have your suggestions to improve our newsletter. Thanks a lot for joining, and we look forward to your continued cooperation and participation. Thank you. With this, we close the meeting. Namaskar.
Thank you.